Team Fortress 2 is known as the grandfather of the hero shooter genre. But have you ever wondered what happened to Team Fortress 1 before Overwatch or Marvel Rivals started dominating the hero shooter conversation? There was Team Fortress 2. One of the most beloved class-based shooters to ever exist, hailed as a genre-defining game and released on October 10, 2007, Team Fortress 2 took the gaming community by absolute storm with its insane classes, wild characters, and a gameplay style completely unlike anything else out there. It became the first of its kind to properly reach a mainstream audience. Team Fortress 2 managed to capture and foster one of the most loving communities in gaming history, one that has constantly been growing for the past 2 decades. But have you ever wondered what actually happened to Team Fortress 1? Now, most people immediately jump to the conclusion that Team Fortress 1 is Team Fortress Classic, the only other game officially published by Valve under that name. But what if I told you that you were wrong?
Objection!
Nuh-uh. Fuck you mean, nuh-uh?
Because, although you could say TF2 is a direct sequel to Team Fortress Classic, if you dig into the actual history of this franchise, there were 6 other versions of this game in development before TF2 ever came out. The making of the original Team Fortress is actually insane. In 1996, 3 university students in Melbourne, Australia, Robin Walker, John Cook, and Ian Cagley, created what would become the first iteration of Team Fortress. Built as a mod for Quake, yes, these absolute madlads, who probably still had their math homework to turn in, would go on to create one of the most unique and influential class-based shooter ever made. And here's the thing, they didn't even think of themselves as developers at the time. They had just made a mod for a game they love. The original version only launched with 5 classes: Scout, Sniper, Soldier, Demoman, and Medic. But the community absolutely ate it up. The game blew up so fast that they just kept adding to it. Classes like the Spy and Engineer were added when they updated the game with version 2.5 in April 1997, almost a year after launch. This little experiment of theirs became so popular that they eventually dropped out of university from the company called TF Software and immediately started working on a sequel. Word spread fast that a Team Fortress sequel was in the works. So fast that even Activision tried to get in contact with them. But that all fell through when Valve came knocking. Valve had just released Half-Life and needed help. And when Gabe saw what these guys were doing, he loved it so much that Valve absorbed TF Software and brought the whole team in-house. This created a massive new problem though, because now the team had to basically start over from scratch. All those assets they had built on the Quake engine, useless. They now had to work on Valve Gold Circ engine, the same engine powering Half-Life, which meant everything had to be rebuilt, and that forced them to rethink the entire direction of the game. The game was originally planned to be a much more realistic shooter, with larger maps, usable vehicles, and even real-time strategy elements. Think less cartoon chaos, more military tactical shooter. Call of Duty before Call of Duty even existed. But the developers quickly realized that stripping out all the core things that made Team Fortress was going to go down terribly with the community. And honestly, they were definitely right. So, they hit a pause on the sequel and did something smart. They went back to the basics. They ported the original Team Fortress mod into the new Half-Life engine, polished it up, gave it new maps and better netcode, and released it in April 1999 as Team Fortress Classic. Notably, the whole thing was built entirely within the public available Half-Life SDK as a demonstration to the community and industry of just how flexible the engine was, and the game was received really well. Caught classic status almost immediately. So with that win under their belt, Valve jumped straight back into their bigger vision for Team Fortress 2, now officially titled Team Fortress 2 Brotherhood of Arms. Announced in 1999, TF2 Brotherhood of Arms was first shown publicly at E3 1999, where it earned several awards, including Best Online Game and Best Action Game. On paper, it looked incredible, but the problem was it still felt way too close to a standard military shooter, rather than the class-based mayhem Team Fortress was known for. Things like rocket jumping and the minigun were going to be completely removed. Weapons would be based on real-life firearms. Medic would only heal. They wouldn't be able to attack at all. It was a practically different game, lapping as a Team Fortress game. And then, just to make things even more complicated, the game was held back further by attempts to implement incredibly ambitious features like in-game voice communication, lip syncing, and landing vehicles. And if that wasn't enough, Valve then decided to switch engines again, this time to the brand new Source engine. That decision put Brotherhood of Arms on hold for years, and then they cancelled it entirely. Yes, Valve looked at a nearly finished game, said this isn't it, and scrapped the whole thing. But it didn't stop there. After Brotherhood of Arms, Valve experimented with an entirely new direction, a version of TF2 called Invasion, which took a wild sci-fi and steampunk approach, pitting humans against full-on aliens. The only reason we even know this version existed is because a build of it leaked online in 2003. It kept some Brotherhood of Arms concepts, but pushed the design somewhere completely new, and even that got scrapped. At this point, Team Fortress 2 had gone completely silent for 6 full years. No updates, no trailers, nothing. The community was starting to wonder if the game even existed at all. Then in July 2006, everything changed. At the EA Summer Showcase, Valve pulled back the curtain on a completely reimagined Team Fortress 2, and it was glorious. Gone was the gritty military aesthetic. In its place was a cartoon-like visual style influenced by 20th century commercial illustrations and the artwork of artists like J.C. Lenderdeck and Norman Rockwell. The James Bond spy aesthetic and the exaggerated character design, the vibrant maps. TF2 as we know and love it had finally been born. Robin Walker later revealed that Valve had quietly built probably 3 to 4 different games before landing on that final design. 3 or 4 entire games built and thrown away just to have the one we have right now. And Team Fortress 2 went on to release to critical acclaim on October 10th, 2007, with a community that is still going strong nearly 2 decades later. The story of Team Fortress 1 to the making of Team Fortress 2 is an insane story of college dropouts, multiple game engines, cancelled sequel, alien invasions, and 6 years of total silence, all leading to one of the greatest games ever made. Subscribe.